Hello there, welcome to ntvithari. Two persons killed and two others left injured after a fire engulfed a house in Fidim Opastar. Electric short circuit blamed for the incident. Prime Minister holds a discussion with Finance Minister and Governor on country's economic situation, stresses on revision of monetary policy to control liquidity. China says travel restrictions imposed by several countries and Chinese travelers are politically motivated, also warns it may retaliate. And league leaders Lumini facing Kathmandu in the ongoing match of the Nepal T20 League. Viratnagar to play against Far West in the other match of the day. Welcome back. You are with the NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have the news in details. Two persons have been killed and two others sustained injuries in a fire incident that occurred at Ghumaune Taro Fidim municipality in Pastar district this morning. DSP Hari Khatira informed that the fire engulfed the house of local Meg Bahadur Gurung in the wee hours of 1:35 a.m. Gurung's daughter-in-law, 23-year-old Asang Singh Thebe, and 22-year-old daughter Mamta Gurung died in the incident. Three others narrowly escaped the fire incident. The fire has completely destroyed the house with stock grains, jewelries and other belongings. Police said the fire had caused an estimated loss of 5 million rupees. It is believed the short circuit might have caused the fire. As many as 25 police personnel were mobilized to take the fire under the control. Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Bishnu Paudel and Nepal Rashtra Bank's Governor Mahaprasad key issues facing the economy and problems in the banking sector were discussed during the trio in the meeting held this morning at Prime Minister's residence in Balwatar. Prime Minister short briefing from the Finance Minister and Governor on the liquidity crunch, heavy trade deficit among other challenges facing the country. Prime Minister Dahal stressed on revision of the monetary policy to reduce the high lending rates of banks and financial institutions and to control liquidity. The Prime Minister was of the view that it was necessary to stop the flow of loans in unproductive areas and said it is the responsibility of the government to make its people well informed and aware of the country's economic situation. The government-run and private hospitals of Palpa has seen the increased number of people suffering from common cold and viral fever. Dr. Rajendra Giri, Head of Health Office Palpa, says the number of patients with cold and fever has increased in the past few days. The United Mission Hospital in Tansen, Lumini Medical College and the local health post are attending hundreds of people complaining of cold illnesses on a daily basis. Especially children in the age group of 4 to 15 are especially children in the age group of 4 to 15 years and patients over 50 years are reaching the hospital. Meanwhile, for the past few days, normal life in the Kortarai district of Rohtahar has been affected due to the extreme cold weather. With the dipping mercury and local authorities having arranged to burn firewood in various places. In provincial hospital of Gaur, the problem of asthma. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have what we have coming up next. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have more updates and let's have the latest from the international front. The Chinese government has suggested that travel restrictions imposed on several countries and Chinese arrivals are politically motivated and has warned that it may retaliate. The US, India and the UK are among the nations that have introduced mandatory testing for arrivals from China. The country has recently seen a surge in COVID cases following the easing of its strict controls. China's last daily COVID update on 24 December reported fewer than 5,000 cases, but some analysts claim that the daily caseload is already over 2 million and could peak at almost 4 million this month. Republican leader Kevin McCarthy of Representatives. The House adjourned without a speaker on Tuesday night, the first time since 1923 they had failed to choose a leader after the first round vote. The California congressman has lost 3 consecutive votes for a speaker so far, and it's unclear what his path to victory could be when the House returns on Wednesday to try all over again. They will keep voting until someone wins a majority. Hundreds of people marched in Peruvian capital Lima on Tuesday to demand an end to the violent social uprising that followed an abrupt change of government. Peru's President Dina Boluarte also called for the violent demonstrations that are demanding an end to her government to stop. Boluarte took over the Pedro Castillo government after he sought to dissolve Congress ahead of lawmakers' third attempt to impeach him. Peru is set to hold early elections in an attempt to defuse a national political crisis. Proposal approved by 91 of the legislators' 130 members would push up for elections for President and Congress to April 2023, which were originally scheduled for 2026. With this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now to more updates from the international front. The cruise ship Ahmadiyya docked on Venezuelan island Margarita on Tuesday in what officials had said that Ahmadiyya, sailing under Bahamian flag, is the first cruise in 15 years to dock in Venezuela. Upon their arrival, 500 European tourists were welcomed with traditional Venezuelan music and dances. Despite having an intensive outlet to the Caribbean Sea, Venezuela's ports reduced their movement drastically as a result of the economic and political crisis that the country is going through, a situation that worsened since 2017. In a recent government communication, officials blamed the lack of cruise ships on the international sanctions against the Venezuelan government. Tokyo Stock Exchange held a ceremony on Wednesday, marking the first trading day of 2023, with Nikkei 225 starting at 25,800. Who took part in the traditional bell hitting, a ritual the Tokyo Exchange performs before the closing and opening of the market around New Year's. Suzuki said he expects 2023 to be a year that brings an upward trend to the Japanese economy. Two more updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have what we have coming up next. Now to sports. League leaders Luminal All-Star chasing the target of 184 runs posted by Kathmandu Knights. Kathmandu amassed 183 runs with loss of 6 wickets in the stipulated 17 overs. Lumini so far has scored 61 runs, losing 7 wickets in 13 overs. In another match of the day, slated to kick off at 1 p.m., Viratnagar Super Kings will lock horns with Far West United. Cristiano Ronaldo received a rapturous welcome from 25,000 fans at a packed Mersul Park in Riyadh after being presented as an Al Nassr player on Tuesday. The former Manchester United, Real Madrid and Juventus forward signed a 2.5-year contract to play in the Saudi Pro League in one of the most surprising transfers in the sports history. Speaking at a news conference earlier, Ronaldo, who has won 5 Ballon d'Or awards for the best player in the world and 5 Champions League titles, will play outside of the Euro for the first time in his storied career. Ronaldo has agreed a deal reportedly worth up to $200 million a year, making him the highest paid football player in history. With this update, we come to the end of this English News Bulletin, but before I say goodbye, let's have a quick reminder of the major stories. Two persons killed and two others left injured after a fire engulfed a house in Fidimo Pastor. Electric short circuit blamed for the incident. Prime Minister holds discussion with Finance Minister and Governor on country's economic situation. Travel restrictions imposed by several countries and Chinese travelers are politically motivated, also warns it may retaliate. And league leaders Lumini facing Kathmandu in the ongoing match of the Nepal T20 League. Viratnagar to play against Far West in the other match of the day. That's all we have in this edition of English News Bulletin. We'll see you again with next round of English Bulletin at 6 in the evening. Till then, have a great time ahead and do stay tuned with us. Namaste.